Hello, good evening, folks, and welcome to Athens. This is the Basketball Champions League. It's the regular season Group B game between AEK and Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Well, already some great games played on day one, on game day one. This game's played on Tuesday night, and now the attention turns to Wednesday. And AEK, you have to say, one of the already famous historical clubs, having won this title, will be in action tonight. Rostoveka already winning over Arnold Vlaslavik on game day one. Also, Texas Van Dirma will be up against Hapoel Bank, Yahav Jerusalem, and San Pablo Burgos against Telenet Giants Antwerp. Antwerp, of course, went on that surprising run last year to reach the Final Four and host it in a rather memorable Final Four, an incredible Final Four. What a great weekend that was in Belgium. So just minutes away from the opening tip for this game, and as we look at the Pau-Lacq-Orthez lineup: Matt Mobley, Tyrus McGee, Captain Leo Cavalier, Travis Leslie, Peter Corneli, moving over from Le Mans, Shekin Bodge, the Senegal international Ronald Moore, Digue Diawara, Nicholas De Jong, and those guys will play big minutes for coach Laurent Villa. They've gone 2-2 in the French league already, and Pau-Lacq-Orthez not short of history in France. A lot of great players have gone through that club, the likes of Boris Theo and the Dietrich brothers, Florent and Mikel. For AEK, we'll look at who they've joined now to their roster: Kendrick Ray, Toliopoulos, Keith Langford, a famous player in Europe, of course, Georgios Sampouros, Jonas Machulis still there, the Lithuanian international, all the way up and down that lineup: Nikos Dikas, Stefan Yankovic, Kendrick Ray, Dimitris Mavroidis, Howard Sampras, Marcus Slaughter, and it's a team that is coached by Ilias Papatheodorou. So we're looking forward to a big, exciting night in the Basketball Champions League. Pau-Lacq-Orthez hoping to hit the ground running in their first ever Basketball Champions League campaign, and going up against a team, or at least a club, AEK, that has been in the battles all 3 seasons. And a lot of us, including myself, thought that AEK would go all the way last year, and they came up short in the quarterfinals, losing to Borussia Bamberg. But 2 years ago, remember, they were the team that made it all the way to the title game, and they won it. So AEK, wearing those famous black and yellow colors, coming out and showing us what they've got. They've got Linos Christopoulos as well in the team this year. It's going to be fascinating to watch this team. For my money, Jonas Machulis there being introduced, one of the all-time great Lithuanians. I've loved watching him play really for more than a decade. I remember going back to Eurobasket 2007 with Lithuania. There's Christopoulos. It's unusual seeing him in the AEK jersey, having seen him wheel and deal to good effect for PAOK Thessaloniki in recent seasons. Of course, he was a game day MVP as well last year. And there's Papatheodorou, the coach of this AEK team. So a lot of hope for Papatheodorou, and also Laurent Villa hoping that his team can come out and cause a stir on the opening day. I don't think, without question, this AEK team would be favored coming into today's game purely on reputation. But you know what? You look past any opponent in this competition, and you are ripe to be beaten. Referees for today's game. Now that, my friends, is a very good refereeing crew. And we will identify them in just a second. So looking back at the results already in this competition, Gaziantep got out to a huge lead yesterday, but ended up losing to Peristeri, another Greek team, 70-64. Riga won at home over Mornar Bar from Montenegro, 80-74. Neptunus Klaipėda won against Happy Casa Brindisi, 81-71 in Lithuania. Pauk fell at home to Besiktas, 69-60. Ankara hit the road and won a thriller at Unet Holon, 82-79. Strasbourg won at home over Filu Ostin, 77-64. And Anvo Voslavic lost on the road at Rostovekta, 89-76. And the last game of the day was played down in the Canary Islands. That one was won by Iberostar Tenerife, 81-67 over Nizhny Novgorod. So we talked about the referees, and the referees for today's game from Latvia, Martins Kozlovskis, then Erez Gurian from Israel right, and Ivor Matejek from the Czech Republic on the left. This famous arena, this was the site, in fact, of the second ever Final Four that was played in the Basketball Champions League, and it was packed to the rafters as AEK won that title. Remembering they overcame AS Monaco, also beat Murcia in a thrilling semifinal. EB Baskets Oldenburg were the other team at that Final Four. And Greek basketball, anybody that knows it, is always thereabouts in the running, whether it's their clubs or their national team. They always have put very good competitive teams on the court, and there's a lot of passion for basketball, especially of the Wilson variety. So Pau-Lacq-Orthez will be starting with Cornelie, De Jong, Leslie, McGee, and Moore. Cornelie listed as a center. Really, you could almost describe him more as a power forward. He can knock it in from three-point range. Laurent Villa, the coach of this team. Pau-Lacq-Orthez. And for AEK, we'll sneak a peek at their starting five. Rizikopoulos, Gikas, Keith Langford, Dimitris Mavroidis, and Howard St. Ross, the Cuban, in the starting five. So Nikos Gikas with Prometheus last year. Nice player in that team that had a strong run in the Basketball Champions League. And Ilias Papatheodorou, the head coach of this AEK team. Of course, he's also been a part of the Greece national team setup. I know he was the coach of the team when they played back in the Under-19 World Championship back in 2015. So Villa and Papatheodorou putting their teams through their last-minute instructions here, and you know what? It's really interesting. You never know how over a 40-minute game things are going to unfold. If you watched the action last night, you might have written off the chances of a team like Peristeri here from Greece. They trailed 18-2 at Gaziantep, but then fought their way back, got it closer to halftime, and ended up finally taking the lead for good late in the third quarter. You know, coming on the road here tonight, a good start would be imperative for this team from France. Pau-Lacq-Orthez certainly hoping that they could come out and raise some eyebrows. Make their coach Didier Ray, who no doubt is rooting hard for them tonight, hoping they get a win. Nothing like hitting the ground running. Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to Athens, Greece, the great city of Athens. This is the Basketball Champions League, and it's AEK against Pau-Lacq-Orthez in the blue, and Pau-Lacq-Orthez coming right out and scoring in the lane. De Jong not hesitating whatsoever. So good start for the veteran center and for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Linos Rizikopoulos hands it off to Langford, Keith Langford. Back inside to Mavroidis. Gikas now gets it over to Howard St. Ross. And Corneli with the rebound. So McGee hands it off to De Jong, and he comes out and hits the long jump shot. Goodness me. De Jong coming out like a house on fire. Now Corneli getting the hands up, but undeterred, Rizikopoulos banking it in. And now an unnecessary turnover, unforced perhaps, on Tyrus McGee, giving it right back to AEK. Here in the ancient city, Athens hosted so many important basketball games over the years. Rizikopoulos puts it on the deck, gets inside, and is bumped and fouled by Corneli. I always thought that Rizikopoulos was one of the big talents in this competition. And from time to time, he can really take over for his teams. It's interesting that he's in the starting lineup tonight. I think that's a real sign of confidence in him from not only his coach, but the club. And we'll see if Rizikopoulos can rise to the occasion. Of course, he did play for Greece in the European qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball World Cup that was just played in China. Now exploding down the lane, and now the ball goes outside to Leslie. Corneli with the rebound and goes up strong. Don't tell me that man doesn't want to go inside. He's got the sweet touch from deep. Well, Corneli scoring down low against AEK. Now Langford passes to the corner. Howard St. Ross, in fact, more from the wing. The three-pointer ties it. He's the Basketball Champions League veteran. Played not only for AEK last year, but played for Nymburk before that. McGee over to Corneli. Back to McGee. And De Jong misses, but then Leslie gets it back and kind of rushes up the shot. The ball passed up, nobody back for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. And Mavroidis, the workhorse, gets the easiest two he'll get tonight. Tyrus McGee dribbling around up high, guarded closely by Gikas. Langford, no look, and beautiful finish. So De Jong, 6 points, 6 of his team's 8. Langford again, soft touch. How about Keith Langford? Played for so many big-time clubs in European basketball over the years. Bounce pass, and Tyrese McGee lays it up and in. St. Ross pulls up, hands it off to Gikas. Pass back to Mavroidis, back outside to Gikas for three. And DeJong chases down the long rebound. Moore, out of McGee. Plenty of time on the shot clock. DeJong, though, doesn't need any time. His attempt rattles out. Ten apiece here early on, and Rizikopoulos puts up a three and drills it. Linos Rizikopoulos. Oh, beautiful finish from Leslie. Kind of hesitated, then exploded to the basket. Mavroidis, no look to Langford. He's fouled while shooting. And I believe it was indeed a three-pointer. So he will go to the line for a potential four-point play. He picks up the foul. Langford again, and that's a tough foul. I mean, why do you want to foul? He's already got the release and everything. Just let him have it. So a great start for Keith Langford. Point lead. McGee gets rid of it. Leslie into the corner. Corneli. That's good. Gets three of those points back. Very positive play by Pau-Lacq-Orthez. You know this is a big challenge coming to Greece. And Gikas pulls up and hits a long jump shot. Fakes and now puts it up and drills the jumper. And these teams are stroking it. Like a jump shooting practice for both teams. Ike shooting almost 78% from the floor, and Pau-Lacq-Orthez almost 67% here in the early going. St. Ross. Check Imboj checked in, number 22. And foul called on St. Ross. So Imboj in the game right now, giving Tyrese McGee a break. Also Nigel DeJong is out of the game. And Matt Mobley, number 2, has checked in. Keep an eye on Matt Mobley. Hails from the great state of Massachusetts. Moore over to Corneli. Bounce pass to Leslie. Going up against Slaughter, who's come in for Ike. He takes it right to him and scores. That was Mbaj, excuse me, the Senegalese international, Sheikh Mbaj, number 22. St. Ross back outside to Langford, hesitates. Oh, look at that. Oh, he missed the shot. It's almost worth the highlight reel just with the move. Marcus Slaughter, former Real Madrid star, picks up the foul. Kendrick Ray now enters the game, wearing his trademark headband. Now pulling up, the ball goes off the rim. The attempt from Leslie. And here's Ray. Ronald Moore D'ing up on Gikas. Rissakopoulos goes to work on Leo Cavalier, the captain. Gets it back and goes in and can't quite get the ball to go, but a foul called, so he will go to the line. That's a good call. Cavalier kind of lowered his arms and also just didn't get into position, a little bit slow reacting. Rissakopoulos creates some matchup problems because he can put the ball on the deck and go to the basket. Handles it well for his size, and he's also got a good jump shot. First one is good. Rissakopoulos makes both, takes it up to a 2-point advantage. Look at this. He's got 8 points already. Moore back to Cavalier, and now he gets the block called on Slaughter. Excuse me, Gikas. Mobley puts it up from deep, way downtown. With a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Ike leading at 21-19. Langford. He's just got such a soft touch, doesn't he? 36 years of age and really looks as good as ever. Cavalier, the captain. Rissakopoulos. But you just wonder, you know, we talk about so often these potential league MVP candidates, and it's almost absurd to talk about this right now on game day one, but his game is spectacular. He is silky smooth, and you just feel like whenever he puts the basketball up, it's going in. There's also something nice about watching those guys release the ball left-handed, isn't it? Doesn't matter what the sport, the lefties look good. Here he is again. Passes it back outside. Gikas puts it up from deep. Here goes Gikas. Gikas falls down. The Ike fans thinking there's a push-off. But an important possession here for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Here at the end of the quarter, they now trail by their biggest deficit of the game, 7 points. Cavalier gets it back, but time, the shot clock runs out because he didn't hit the rim. 1.2 seconds and not enough time to launch one. So impressive finish for AEK, and you have to worry if you're the coach of Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Laurent Villa, your team has given up 26 points in the opening quarter here to AEK. It's AEK on top 26-19. Well, you can see the numbers. AEK 5 of 7 inside the arc, 4 of 7 from deep. Just 1 of 6 from three-point range for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Much better inside the arc. Well, De Jong really was carrying the load, the scoring load for this team from France, Pau-Lacq-Orthez. He scored there right at the start of the game. Got into the lane. Then he didn't hesitate, putting up the long jump shot. But with De Jong out, you worry perhaps a little bit about that offense. Rizzi Campos, meanwhile, showing us what he's got. Having joined the team from Pau. Corneli getting on the board. A couple of baskets for him. Comes AEK right at the start, and guess who it is? Keith Langford takes it up to a 9-point lead, the biggest of the game. I think there's enough firepower in this AEK team that you don't want to get into a fast game with them. Got to control that tempo. But with Langford, they've got a guy that can do well in the open floor or in the half court. Also Kendrick Ray. Slaughter picks up the personal. Jonas Machulis now in the game, number 8. Somebody's got to step up right now for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Who will it be? Well, putting it up from deep. I'll tell you who it's going to be. It's going to be number 3 for Pau-Lacq-Orthez, Tyrus McGee. And now he forces his turnover, the steal, and it leads to a dunk from Mboj, and just like that, the visitors cut that deficit to just 4 points. Papa Theodoro has to be upset, especially with the turnover. He can't be the point guard and turn the ball over as easily as Gikas did there. So those are the shooting numbers that we talked about. Seven rebounds apiece. 3 boards on the offensive end for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. 7 assists for Pau as well. Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Pau and Lac and Orthez are 3 cities. So hence, obviously, not just a 1-city team. So we need to say all 3. Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Ross coming back into the game for for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. It's Cavalier, Digue Diawara, Sheikh Mboj, Tyrus McGee and Matt Mobley. You get DOR number 35. Bounce past Kendrick Gray to Slaughter. Then he gets it over to Machulis. But the Senegalese center Mboje knocks it away. But then a bad turnover. And it's Langford who not only comes up with a steal, but flies in for the two-handed jam. And that is almost unforgivable to give away that type of turnover after you get a good stop. You were talking about a 4-point swing and perhaps more importantly, momentum. Oh, what a play. Getting the ball inside to Sheikh Mboj, and he not only lays it up and in, but gets fouled. So St. Ross picks up the foul. And this is where McGee, you know, you got to do better there as the point guard. Big fella giving him a lift. Now the drive, Kendrick Gray. Whatever you say, Kendrick Gray. And now it's going to be St. Ross up at the top of the key. Launches it, and it is too long. Oh, no. Oh, boy. The rim gods blessed St. Ross with a three-pointer. Ball bounced high off the rim and then fell through. Sheikh Mboj doing a good job, and Machulis commits the foul. Certainly a mismatch there in terms of height. Watch this. And I'll tell you, Mboj might have gotten away with one there. It's a good spin, but he kind of hooked. Yiannopoulos checks into the game for Ike. Reach, another foul called on St. Ross. Or was it Ray? So take your pick. In fact, they called on Ray. Ray chasing Mobley. Now it goes back to Cavalier, and nice pass. But then Mboj doesn't finish well against Machulis. Kendrick Gray, however, stepped out of bounds and turns it back over. Game has a nice flow to it. I'll tell you what, it has been wonderful. The Greek teams in this competition over the years have really given us a lot of thrills in the Basketball Champions League. And perhaps none more than Ike. They have been a great team in this competition. Now cutting aside. Look at Mobley fly. Goodness me, the hang time. But quickly, it's Ike. And Tyrus McGee fouls Jonas Machulis. Look at Machulis get out on the break. Good hustle back by McGee to prevent the layup and force Machulis to go to the line. That's now 2 fouls on Tyrus McGee. Good hustle from the veteran. And Machulis misses the first. You might remember last year, it was right in crunch time when he got injured late in the season for Ike, and that was a huge blow for them. He was able to battle back and play for Lithuania at the World Cup in China. McGee, 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. He's open, so he's going to launch it. And nobody really under the basket. I'm not sure that Laurent Villa is a fan of that shot. Now Kendrick Ray launches it and drills the three-pointer. So Kendrick Ray, I guess you could say that's a 6-point swing. McGee stayed out and Ray's went in. Vila, the coach, coached his team last year as well. The shooting numbers, 13 makes for both teams shooting well, whereas AEK have had a lot more opportunities at the free throw line, and they've made 5 of 7. Well, there's a big opportunity here for AEK to put some distance between themselves and Pau-Lacq-Orthez before halftime. But on the other hand, De Jong has checked back into the game, and he had such a bright start. See if he can give Pau-Lacq-Orthez a lift. He had 6 points in his first 5 minutes and 20 seconds of action. Shooting from deep, left open, and missing it was Ronald Moore. Kendrick Ray gets into the paint, gets it over to Jonas Mačiulis. The three-pointer from the Lithuanian veteran. And now the lead is double digits. It's 11. Mobley from the left gets it right back. Mobley has got some tremendous athleticism. You just wonder what type of impact he's going to have on this team this season. He's looked good so far. There's almost 8 minutes on the court. Bounce pass to the corner. Now St. Ross from deep. 3 consecutive three-pointers, 2 from AEK, and now will Pau-Lacq-Orthez answer with another 3. Clearly, looks like you don't want to get into a shootout with this AEK team. They've got a lot of players that can bury the shot from deep. De Jong puts up an awkward contested shot. Kendrick Ray into the corner. Mačiulis open. Why not? He says, and why not? He makes another one. Jonas Mačiulis. Goodness gracious me. That leads to a timeout. The 34-year-old Mačiulis in fine fettle for AEK. And suddenly Pau-Lacq-Orthez being buried by an avalanche of three-pointers from this AEK team. Well, at least that's a good sign. 18 points in the paint for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Well, you wonder if AEK perhaps laying down an early marker here to tell everybody they've got a team that can go all the way in this competition this season. Never mind the big names that left the club after last season, the Vince Hunters, the Jordan Theodores. This is a team that has a lot of ambition, and here's St. Ross coming up with a steal and a flush. And that is an almost disastrous sequence for Pau-Lacq-Orthez, having called a timeout and then coming out and turning the ball over. Slaughter comes up and commits the foul. Boy, they have really turned on the style here, this Ike team, opening up a 16-point lead. Look at this. St. Ross, the latest. So Slaughter picks up the foul. Now Mavroidis gets back into the game. Mobley passes back outside to Corneli. It's long. And Ike showing signs of throwing a first out knockout punch here. Finally, they show they're human from three-point range. Nice hesitation, but not at all the finish that they were looking for from Leslie. Shaking and baking, and now Machulis puts up another long jump shot. Another three-pointer, his third. 51 points already for Ike, and still with 2:40 to go here in the first half. Pau-Lacq-Orthez need to knuckle down on defense. Quick pass inside, and Machulis drinking from the fountain of youth, looking as good as ever. 12 points for Jonas Machulis. Leslie. Seems to be going from bad to worse right now for the team from France. Baltimore missing with that last one. 21 points the lead for Ike. St. Ross open, and a reprieve for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Leslie got the rebound, and then Mobley missing, and everything is going pear-shaped right now for the team in blue. Foul called on Mobley. 1:39 remaining here in the first half. It's been all Ike, especially in the second quarter, where they have outscored Pau-Lacq-Orthez 27-13. Bump out on the perimeter. With 2:54 remaining in the first quarter, the game was tied at 19. And we went on a 7-0 run to finish the quarter, and there's been no turning back at all for Ike. Kendrick Ray for three. Leslie rebounds it. Passes it back to Moore. And the jump shot is good from Ronald Morris. Maybe that'll get him going. That's his first make of the night. Right now, it's all about trying to get to halftime for this Pau-Lacq-Orthez team, excuse me, trying to regroup. Yiannopoulos. And that is, you can see Papatheodorou completely goes ballistic after that miss. And Moore again, the long jump shot. Oh, they're going to say that was a 3. I thought his foot was well inside. I would not want to be Haris Yiannopoulos going over to the bench to get an earful from his coach. Well, he doesn't say anything to him.
How to finish the half court now. How to finish now the game. Okay, this is very important now. Okay. First offense. Kikas, bring the ball to this side. Here is the 5-man. Here is Langford. 4-men and 3-men. Set the screen for Keith. Here is the side pick and roll 1-2. Try to take the switch.
The shooting number is much better for Ike.
We play 1-1. If they play, if they use
inside and outside the arc,
we run
10 3-pointers.
And we play thumb chin for kids. Thumb chin for kids. Okay, let's go, guys.
A lot of teams, maybe even most teams, don't get 10 3-pointers in a game, and Ike already has 10 in the first half. But boy, did Papatheodorou really lose his cool when he saw the ball go up and missed by Haris Yiannopoulos from the corner, but he didn't. I thought he was going to really have a go at him, but he didn't say anything to him. Langford back in the game here, the final seconds of the first half. Look how tough he is. Fades, oh boy. I tell you what, that is pretty much unstoppable. He's good enough to where he can go past you, he can hit the fadeaway. Back to an 18-point lead. Moore starting to heat up himself a little bit. And then tries to dump it off to Leslie. I think Leslie thought Moore was going to shoot it. And in the end, Pau-Lacq-Orthez failed to get a shot off. So here in Greece, it's all Ike at halftime. They lead at 55-37 over Pau-Lacq-Orthez. %71% shooting inside the arc for Ike, 59% from deep. That's right, that is in the first half, folks. 10 of 17 for Ike. And to boot, they're out rebounding Pau-Lacq-Orthez 17-13. So everything is working for Ike. The only, it's going to take a monumental effort, you would think, from this Pau-Lacq-Orthez team just to give themselves a chance here. Mboj with 7, McGee with 7 points, and De Jong with 6. He started hot, then he went to the bench for a long time and seemed to cool off by the time that he got back. So basketball is a 40-minute game. Don't forget that. Adjustments can be made. But certainly Ike in an enviable position here at halftime, up against the visitors from France, Pau-Lacq-Orthez. As you look at a lot of the highlights, many of them of Keith Langford, who has 14 points, and of course Jonas Maciulis, he of the hot hand, hitting not just 1, not just 2, but all 3 of his shots from three-point range. Howard St. Ross also 3 of 6 from three-point range. Langford getting that steal and dunk, and that was a worrying sign for me, this play right here. The point guard having his pockets picked and giving up the easy 2. So again, St. Ross hitting one of his 3 three-pointers. A little bit of good fortune for him there. So Ike again in the game day one game here in Athens, leading at 55-37 over Pau-Lacq-Orthez. We will be right back before the start of the second half.
Green, oh, what a pass from Mike Green. Had his back to him, was looking the other way. Watch this. Hatcher to Garrett, and then the block. Pope thought he was going to dunk it, but Sy said, not in my house, my friend.
Brown, can he make something happen? And holy cow, can he? What a dunk by Brown.
Gino Lawrence, wow. Alex Davis with the throwdown off the phenomenal ball handling and pass from Gino Lawrence.
Colon looking to run, behind the back from Reynolds, finds Atkins for the easy layup. What a play from Scotty Reynolds.
And then his pass intercepted by Thomas, and he's going in for the dunk.
Lee finds Bacco. Oh, it's rejected by Samoris. Timed it beautifully. Absolutely perfect.
Oh, behind the back! What a pass and what a finish by Babacar Touré. Highlight reel play there from Chad Timberlake.
Here's, oh, that's Niang. That's what we've been looking for. What a play from Mamadou Niang.
Thomas looked to drive, nice feed. Amari swatted at the rim, twice by Ayenga. Not once, but twice. First time from behind, second time straight up, and he swats it away.
Cross court. James had the three in the corner. Did go.
Oh my Lord! Right over Iverson! Are you serious? What a dunk! He jumped to the top of this arena.
Oh, the lob, the jam, O'Leary, another backdoor cut, and Rupnick with the no-look alley-oop pass.
Gets the rebound. Alyssa Vicious, blocked by Ellis. Alyssa Vicious going in, no. Ellis doing what he does best.
Khalif Wyatt. Oh, the pass behind the back. God, that's a big-time play from Khalif Wyatt. World class from Khalif Wyatt.
Here's Feeler again. Gets in the lane. Oh, goodness me! That could be the play of the game. Wow.
Goss kicks it. Jones, it opens up for Jones down the middle. Huge dunk from Jones right down the middle.
Well, Tyrus McGee, you can see what he's done tonight, but it hasn't been nearly enough for Pau-Lacq-Orthez as they trail Ike 55-37 at halftime here in Greece. Ike just kind of beating him, especially from three-point range. Machulis, 3 threes. Langford, you see, has 14 points. Machulis and St. Ross has been hot as well. 3 of 6 from deep. See, the top rebounders for the game. Marcus Slaughter has 5 rebounds, 3 for Yiannopoulos. Visikopoulos has a couple of boards as well. It's a talented team that we see here for Ike. And, well, is there a potential weakness in the team? I'm not sure in terms of an out-and-out low post rim protector. We'll have to see as the season goes on how important that would be. But you see Langford's numbers, 5 of 6 from the floor inside the arc. He's hit his only 3. So 6 of 7 from the floor, and again, still getting it done at 36 years of age. Keith Langford, of course, after playing at Kansas from 2001 to 2005 in American college basketball, the NCAA, Keith Langford has played for numerous teams in Europe, Angelico Biella in Italy, as well as Virtus Bologna, BC Kimki, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Emporio Armani Milano, Unix Kazan, and then he went to China to play for Shenzhen Leopards. And came back to play at Maccabi Rishon LeZion, and then was with Panathinaikos last season. Now he is still here in Athens, but playing for one of Panathinaikos' rivals, AEK. So really a lot of expectations on Langford and on this AEK team, who despite losing some key men from last year, looked like a team that could go very deep, certainly reach the playoffs, and then make some noise in the playoffs. When you go back and you look at last season and you remember how good AEK were, this was a team that was coached by Luca Banchi. They had Delroy James, Vasilis Anthopoulos, who we watched play last night for Peristeri, Dusan Shikoda. They had Yanulis Larentzakis. They had Malcolm Griffin, Gordon Theodore. They had St. Ross, who's back. Yiannopoulos is back. Vince Hunter has left. And so, some key men have gone, but some very good players have come. Gikas and Russikopoulos there in your screen now with this team. And we'll see how things unfold for this AEK team. Will this be a year when they can challenge for a second Basketball Champions League trophy? Well, it's a long way back for Pau-Lacq-Orthez, but they've got 20 minutes to do it. 55-37 is the lead for AEK as we start the second half here in Athens, and it's Pau-Lacq-Orthez with the basketball. And jumping and drilling it, rather, is Ronald Moore, a three-pointer, so that's good for him coming right out of the gate. Took him a while to get on the board in the first half, and now he's got 8 points. Gikas hands it off to Mavroidis. St. Ross back to Mavroidis, and had an opening and just laid it up and in. McGee bumped by Mavroidis. Go to ChampionsLeague.basketball to check out all the latest news and information on this great league, which is in its 4th season. A lot of great writers, contributors, a lot of great interviews, a lot of great team stats and what have you. And Travis Leslie, meanwhile, gets in and scores and cuts it back to a 15-point deficit. Also, I would encourage you to load the Basketball Champions League app into your smartphone. Shot clock winding down. All beautiful pass. And the finish by Russikopoulos. So the assist goes to Mavroidis. I have to say, you know, the guy that makes the pass to the guy on a play like that who gets the assist, to me, should also get an assist. They were all involved. The coach knows. Look at Gikas. I mean, that was a wonderful pass, and then the no-look from Mavroidis. And Pau-Lacq-Orthez were dead to rights. Leslie had the ball knocked out of his hands, got it back and scored. Good no call by the ref. The ball was knocked out of his hands. It wasn't a travel. 6 points for Leslie. But this is where Pau-Lacq-Orthez have to get the job done. They've got to get some stops. Brisikopoulos gets down the baseline. Back outside to Gikas for three. Good! Well, I don't know what these guys ate for breakfast today, but they should serve it up every day on the Basketball Champions League, because they have been tremendous from three-point range. 12 three-pointers now. Corneli, meanwhile, catches it and steps out of bounds. Here it is again. Corneli. Clearly his big right shoe was out of bounds. And now Mavroidis, as he catches it in the paint, is fouled by Leslie. And Leslie came down. Mavroidis was looking for an unsportsmanlike. This was Gikas again after about the third pass. Brisikopoulos getting in on the act there. Langford's pass, good D by Corneli. Now McGee decides not to launch it, but to hold it up. Moore back to Corneli for three. Sam Ross with the rebound. Rebounds and runs, gets into the paint and nowhere to go, gets it back, stays with it. And again, good work by Leslie to get it. Now he's going to go all the way. No, he's going to pass it back outside to McGee. That's good, the three-pointer. And for about the third time, Pau-Lacq-Orthez have cut the deficit to 15 points. Great defense there by the bigs. And then McGee finishes with the three-point shot. Gikas from deep. Foul off the ball. So Ronald Moore picks up the foul. Holding Mavroidis, kind of pushing him. Trying to get back into it. Ball goes over this time to Pau-Lacq-Orthez. So that time the foul was on Mavroidis. Corneli gets it down low, tries to pass to De Jong, and Langford saw that coming, just took the basketball away. Gikas over to Sam Ross, back to Langford for three. Oh man, they are just on fire. 18 points. Once again, the advantage. Langford, he's taken 2 threes tonight, and he's made both of them. Leslie follows up his own miss. Looked like he had an easy one, and now an opportunity for Gikas and AEK as they race down and go up by 20 points. And Laurent Villa has seen enough. He has to call a timeout. Leslie stuck with it, and I think he had a little bit more time to catch it and collect himself. And then Gikas ends up with the ball in the open floor, and just his burst of speed leaves no chance for McGee.
Okay, we defend where's the ball. We push on the side. We use the screen every time. High like this. Okay? And we have to move on the side, go and come back. And we have to follow the ball. Okay? If the ball go keep, follow the ball. Close the bend.
Look at that three-point shooting. That is just downright nasty by AEK. 12 of 20. I mean, Pau-Lacq-Orthez 6 of 16. You know, that's ordinarily by this stage of the game you wouldn't think that would be too bad, but they're just trying to keep up with this AEK team, which can't seem to miss from deep. McGee explodes, takes a very difficult shot with the hang time, but was able to get the foul called, so he will have a couple of free throws. Still with 15 minutes left, and we've seen how Pau-Lacq-Orthez can get hot. But they got to get stops, though. He takes his time, makes the first. And he takes his time and makes the second as well. So back to an 18-point deficit for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Langford, he's been terrific. Rizikopoulos from deep, another one. He was open. That is 13 three-pointers now for AEK. And Leslie going to work down low. Got to get stops, though. This time, nice finish for Langford. Just keeps the scoreboard ticking over, and again, the no-look pass by Mavroidis. Moore, the long two. But this can't be trading baskets. Pau-Lacq-Orthez need to get some stops to have any chance. See Moore's numbers tonight. It's been pretty decent. Gikas dribbling up a long way from the basket. Now gets down on the baseline, hands it back, gets it back again. Boy, AEK are just shooting lights out. They are unreal tonight. 74-54. I mean, they are on course for 100 at this stage, easily. Another steal, pass telegraph stand. Ross goes up for the one-handed dunk. Stepped right into the passing lane and took it all the way. McGee is two back, and it's a 20-point game, but Ike will be more than happy to trade baskets at this stage. Langford gets into the paint and gets the foul called on McGee, who yells out in frustration. Cavalier, the captain, checks back in, as well as Mboj. Welcome to the Basketball Champions League. Pau-Lacq-Orthez. It is a very tough competition, as they are finding out tonight in Athens. A team that just seems to move from strength to strength. They came up short last year in crunch time. Came up just short of the Final Four. They did win the Intercontinental Cup last year in Brazil. And Langford makes just 1 of 2. Right now, it's all Ike with a 21-point lead. Koliopoulos is checked in, number 4 for Ike. And Kendrick Ray as well, wearing the number 0 and the white headband. It just seems like everywhere you look for Pau-Lacq-Orthez, they're surrounded by 3 or 4 yellow jerseys. Good pass, goes off the hands. Cavalier did not get the shot off in time before the shot clock buzzer. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Ike fans singing away, as is usually the case. Rizikopoulos. And this time a stop. Mobley now brings it up. Mobley changes directions, gets inside. Boy, takes the punishment and still makes the shot. Mavroidis just stood there in position. Mobley crashed into him, was able to score. Now Kendrick Ray's time to dazzle his bounce pass. I'm not sure that he and Mavroidis were on the same page. I think that's probably the kind of play that might work next week, as these players get to know each other a little bit better. Leslie, meanwhile, comes out. Slaughter comes back into the game for Ike. Mobley from deep. It's another one. He's telling the coach he wants to go into the game a little bit earlier. 10 points for Mobley. Three-point shooting has been the biggest weapon for Ike tonight. 13 threes. Ray. And the follow was there by Rizikopoulos. .79 points now for Ike. Mobley again. Goodness me! He can shoot it. Giving his team a chance. They're back to 15 points now. That was from the Acropolis. That was a long way out. Langford just grazes the outside of the net. I'm not sure if it would have counted anyway. Well, Ike have been in command, but Mobley coming off the bench here late in the third quarter scores 7 points, including 1 3-pointer. That was a long way out. 79-64. Ike on top. with 10 minutes remaining. Ike 13 of 21 from deep, but now look at Pau-Lacq-Orthez, 9 of 19 from deep, and Pau-Lacq-Orthez also 17 of 29 inside the arc. So asking some questions of that Ike defense. This was Moore hitting a three right early in the quarter. Leslie had some good fortune there. That rim has been kind to these players tonight, to both teams. Saw St. Ross do that in the first half with a three-pointer. Bounced high off the rim and fell in. That was one of the no-look passes by Mavroidis. Again, Geekus involved in that one. Another good play by Leslie. Geekus, meanwhile, hits one of his three-pointers. So it really has, if you like the offense, it's been a great game. The ball has been going in the basket at a high rate tonight. 79 points already for Ike, just 21 shy of the century mark, and 64 for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Pau-Lacq-Orthez might be thinking, gee whiz, if Ike had not shot the ball as well as they have, so they take away 3 of those three-pointers, we'd be trailing by just 6 points. So they'll be hoping perhaps that Ike will cool off a little bit. That was Mobley's first shot after he came back into the game. Then he hit another one. Then he hit a long three-pointer. So Mobley remains in the game, and Ike come out to try to kill this thing off. Foul, long way from the basket. Also in the game, Dige Diawara, number 35. Mobley picks up the foul here on, excuse me, no, it was Mboj picks up the foul, number 22. Kendrick Ray from deep, and McGee with the rebound. Surely you got to get the ball to Mobley. Here he is. Bounce pass. Back to Cavalier, but a foul called. Two fouls on Kendrick Ray, and he goes back to the bench. Mobley fouled near the free throw line. Well, depending how much energy he's got, it certainly seems like he's going to give his team a chance here. Fouled by Machulis. The 2 fouls on Ike. Here's Mobley again. Mobley just kind of lost as he went up. Now Machulis has it, hands it off, and Langford fouled as he gets close to the basket. So a three-point play opportunity for Langford, who is just a scoring machine. Great break by Machulis, and Langford did well to get ahead. So the three-point play for Langford. He's got a game-high 23 points. Mboj. And Toliopoulos brings it forward for Ike. Hand off to St. Ross. Back to Maciulis for three. This time the shot was blocked. Slaughter gets it back to Maciulis. The fake into Maciulis. Takes it back outside. Pau-Lacq-Orthez this time short. But again, another long rebound goes to Langford. Langford hands it off to Pau-Lacq-Orthez. It's good. Why not? We've seen so many threes fly in tonight. 8 second chance points for Ike. And they are now 14 of 25 from deep. Foul called on Slaughter. Ronald Moore coming back in. And McGee takes a seat. Three-point attempt. Luara off target, and the ball goes out of bounds. Coming up on the 7.5-minute mark. Ike's lead right now looking secure. Their lead had been cut to 15 points at the end of the third quarter. Mbaj goes back out. But Ike have added to the lead here in this quarter. They've outscored, or rather they've scored all 6 points in this quarter. So a little bit of a mini drought, shall we say, for Pau-Lacq-Orthez. St. Ross misses from deep. And again, Pau-Lacq-Orthez failed to get the rebound, and they are punished in the worst possible way with Maciulis grabbing the loose ball, scoring, and drawing the foul. The foul on De Jong. Maciulis with 14 points. And takes his time and makes the free throw. It's been a great night for the veteran from Lithuania. And now an offensive foul called on De Jong. Watch this. Ooh. And he even took an elbow, it looked like, from Pau-Lacq-Orthez. I think it was inadvertent to the midsection. But Ike with a 24-point advantage. Pau-Lacq-Orthez trying to make the most of his minutes. He wants Coach Papa Theodoro to get him some minutes here in this season. Maciulis. Back outside to St. Ross. Shot clock going down. Maciulis another three. This time off target. De Jong hands it off. And reaching in, St. Ross commits the foul on Moore. Maciulis now picks up his third foul. Right now, if you're Pau-Lacq-Orthez, you just want to execute. You want to get some points and some stops. Maybe try to get this deficit down. Knowing you never know, or points difference could play a part in their attempt to get to the playoffs. Potential tiebreakers. Mobley
Nobody picks him up. He just kind of glides into the lane and lays it up and in. Look at this. Langford dribbles between his legs. Kind of fades back. Oh, he just has so much quality in his game. 25 points. Write it down right now, folks. MVP candidate. Of course, you probably have already written that down. And tough attempt. Cavalier fouled and earns a trip to the line with 5:25 to go. Got it from Slaughter in the body. Cavalier, captain, off target on the second. Well, it's going to be back to the drawing board, it appears, for Laurent Villa. And nice drive as well from St. Ross. The three-point shot has been huge tonight for both of these teams, but here's Langford, just keeps on pouring in the points. Doesn't seem fair, does it? He makes it look so easy. 27 for Keith Langford and Ike. I think the fans realizing they have made a wise investment in bringing Keith Langford to the club. He has been unreal tonight. 11 of 13 from the floor. And there's still time, depending on if Papa Theodoro wants to keep him in the game. 4:46 to go.
High like this. You attack like this. Leo, you see, Matt, you are here. And when you start to play, when you start to play like this, okay? And opposite. If you see defender here, okay, stop, screen, and try this to go high, and after you flash, okay? Normally, you can be open like this for the super chat in the corner.
Well, these two teams will also have to play in Group B, the likes of San Pablo Burgos, Rasta Vecta, Hapoel Bank, Yahav Jerusalem, Texas Bandirma, Anvol Voslavik, and Telenet Giants Antwerp. See the rebounding numbers for tonight. But, you know, as you look at that group, I find it hard to believe there could be a tougher group in the Basketball Champions League. I mean, there are a lot of good teams in that group. And a lot of exciting times ahead whenever you visit these places. Burgos is going to be packed every night. You know what Hapoel Bank Yahav Jerusalem is like. They're going to be packed. Bandirma has a great fan following. Anvil as well. And, of course, the Final Four was held in Antwerp last year. Or rather, last season. And that was utterly sensational. So it's all excitement in Group B in the Basketball Champions League. Toliopoulos picks up the foul. So Mobley is at the line. I guess if you're a fan of Pau-Lacq-Orthez, you know, there are some positives to draw from tonight. You've seen some good play in phases, certainly some good individual skills from the likes of Mobley. And fouled by, you know, while shooting the three, so he gets the 3 free throws. And Mobley, really, for the minutes that he's had tonight, you have to say he's done pretty well. 18 points in 21 minutes. 4.5 minutes remaining. Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Yiannopoulos. Pau-Lacq-Orthez splits the defense and is fouled by De Jong, so free throws coming for the backup point guard. And the 1.88-meter playmaker makes the first one. Just 23 years of age. And makes the second as well. Played for Aris last season, as well as was on the books of Olympiacos from 2015 to 2019. And driving in and dunking it is the captain, Cavalier. Now Pau-Lacq-Orthez falls down. Pau-Lacq-Orthez chases back on defense. Cavalier puts it up and in. Pau-Lacq-Orthez over to Yiannopoulos. Now another turnover. And a foul called on Yiannopoulos. Well, AEK have been in command, but finishing a little sloppy here. I suppose early in the season you're going to have these spells where things maybe do not click, and Papa Theodora wants to call timeout.
Okay, 40 minutes focus, guys. What exactly we talk? 40 minutes focus. Remember what happened 3 days ago? You care about this difference? Yes or no? Stay focused. Press break, and we play 2 down. Press break and we play 2 down. You go under the basket always. Don't stay over here without reason. Because you bring one player to this side. Go under the basket. Let's go.
Well, I stayed with that because he made some interesting points. AEK were on top of Hephaestus, leading at halftime and at the end of the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, the home team came from behind and beat them, winning that game 72-68. So the idea is you have to come out and play with supreme focus for 40 minutes. Langford, incredibly, had a tough shooting day that day. He was 1 for 10 from the floor, 1 of 3 from three-point range, although he did make 11 of his 13 free throws. But it is a good point made by the coach. It's a 40-minute game, and even when the game is in hand, you need to form those good habits. So the free throws get it back to a 20-point deficit. Pau-Lacq-Orthez inbounds it to Pau-Lacq-Orthez. And now Langford has the basketball, gets it back. Yiannopoulos. Pau-Lacq-Orthez, bounce pass to Pau-Lacq-Orthez, shot clock winding down, and Pau-Lacq-Orthez's attempt goes off the top of the backboard. Moore. Back to Travis. Mobley, this time a little short. And the ball goes off of Kaklamanakis, Dimitrios Kaklamanakis. So the ball will stay down at this end. On the shot clock. Travis Puts it up. And off target, but Davo Braque, the rebound now taken away by Pau-Lacq-Orthez, and he's fouled by Cavalier, the captain. Yep, I'd say that was a pretty good call. Well, huge applause for Keith Langford, who checks out. He'll finish as the game's leading scorer tonight. 27 points. See, that's what he's done from inside and outside the arc, and also he's plus 30 efficiency. So, for the Brain Trust, who might be watching this game and thinking about who the MVP candidates are, certainly Shermadini was really good, I would think, for Iberostar Tenerife yesterday. And now Mr. Langford has come out and put on quite a show for Ike. Pau-Lacq-Orthez makes 1 of 2, so he's opened his Basketball Champions League account. Drifting into the lane, Moore misses. Pau-Lacq-Orthez looked like he had his hands on it, but the ball was batted out of bounds by Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Lucas, meanwhile, has come back into the game. Looks like Papa Theodoro wants to go ahead and finish this thing. Things were kind of slowed a bit. Bounce pass. Yiannopoulos from the left, and another three-pointer. Takes it up to 100 points. 100-76. Ike on top with 1:58 remaining. Well, I thought they would get there even sooner than they did, but nevertheless, they did get there. So not a bad number to have in your very first game of the season in the Basketball Champions League for Ike. 100 points. Gerald Ayayi is checked into the game. Young French international. Younger brother of Valerian Ayayi, the France international women's player. So another foul on Toliopoulos, and Mobley goes to the line, but misses with his first attempt. Mobley again misses both, but Ike not able to rebound the ball, so it'll be Pau-Lacq-Orthez possession. There's a Yayi, looks just like his sister in the face. He must have some good one-on-one games down at the gym, maybe in the kitchen. Might have a little basket constructed. Here we go. Cavalier puts it up deep. Vikas with a nice little nifty pass. Then it goes into Machulis, and Cavalier picks up the foul. Doesn't want to give away the easy one. Cavalier looks over and says, no, that wasn't a foul. But yes, it was indeed. They've called it, so it is. And Machulis heads to the free throw line. He already has 15 points on the night, so make that 16. And make that 17 points for Jonas Machulis. Also plus 17 efficiency tonight. Hanging in the air as Mobley, and he's fouled by Pau-Lacq-Orthez. Well, Mobley just missed a couple of free throws. But if he can get these to fall, he will go to 22 points. Takes his time and rattles in the first one. And Mobley does indeed make the second. And another substitution is being made here with 1:08 remaining. So Leslie goes out. And coming back into the game is Diawara. Dige Diawara. Ayayi guarding Gikas. And here he is coming up with the steal. And then he is fouled, an unsportsmanlike foul on Gikas. So 2 free throws for the young Ayayi. I'll tell you what, looking at Ayayi play, he has got some natural ability. Look at this. Comes up with a steal. He's got nice long arms. So many talented French players. And of course, in the Basketball Champions League, one of the things that everybody has noticed is how young players, a lot of really good young players, get their opportunities in this competition and really get some good experience and take their game to a higher level. Ayayi that time 1 of 2. Here's Mobley. Pulls up for another 3 and hits it. Wow. 25 points. Four of 7 from 3-point range from Mobley. Pau-Lacq-Orthez misses, and now the final 30 seconds being played. Ayayi again drives in, this time throws the ball away into the hands of Pau-Lacq-Orthez, and I think he's going to hold it, and that will be it. So the Greek fans here applaud their team, the AEK fans and the Pau-Lacq-Orthez team. Wow. So they are going to play at the end. I'm not sure that Mobley was expecting that. And that's how it finishes. Kind of caught me off guard. I'm a little bit surprised by that. But anyway, 102-82. AEK win it convincingly over Pau-Lacq-Orthez. So the final score, 102-82, AEK winning it over Pau-Lacq-Orthez. I'll leave you folks with the rest of the stats and the highlights and these live images here from Owaka in Athens. It's been a great night for basketball for Athens as they've watched their team roll to a big win in Group B. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Τώρα τελευταία καπιτόρες μιλούμε πολλά. Τώρα τελευταία καπιτόρες μιλούμε πολλά.